What is it about youths in politics?
In the politics of Nigeria today, it's so unfortunate. Well, I have to first of all thank you for being observant on these issues. It's something that, unfortunately, the people who are to liberate themselves from this particular political slavery are not even interested in liberating themselves. You know, when a slave is in love with chain,
Mm.
the liberation is very far from that particular slave. So when I'm talking about a slave being in love with chain, I would always want to also count myself among there.
You are part of the
So, of
slave.
course, I wouldn't want to come and say like I'm a more better person than every other youths who are these slaves in chain, but at least I have been able to get some level of consciousness.
Can we put it in perspective? Because when you say youth are not slave, I'm not part of that era. It's youth in politics that are enslaving themselves.
See this, sir, let me help you in this. You can't say you are not part of that era. You are. Yes. If you want to tell me that you are not part of that era, then I will ask you, as a youth or as a Nigerian, when there was increment in fuel price and other, what did you do?
I did something.
What did you do?
I did something. I at least I advocate through my platform.
You advocate through your platform.
Yeah.
And did stop them?
You ask me what did I do, and I'm telling you what I think. I advocate through my platform, and the content are still there.
Please, sir, the point here is that you didn't do what is enough.
Can I come in at this point? And now, I'm neither here nor there. I say this to say that I'm not on your side or his side. I'm just trying to be neutral here. You asked him what he did. He said we advocated via his platform. That's when he did something. And we have, I think, about 70% youth in the population of Nigeria. So if he did something,
Yes.
I just
Give me my flower.
the next person did something. But this 70% is actually overwhelming. If 70%, let's assume we are over 200 million Nigerians, 70% of this figure happens to be youth. And 70% of this figure did something like he did something. Don't you think that is going to send a very strong signal? Because what I'm saying here is that the youth are becoming nonchalant because of the way these guys play their politics.
That is indeed. Do you also know that your approach also can also be that approach you are trying to assist him on now by saying
It's not assisting. It was like you. What did you do?
no, but do you know that approach as well can also mean to be nonchalant?
How?
Yes.
If everybody like
He,
the total number of youth in this country happen to do something and you think, let's assume if the youth are 70%, yes, that's mean the men and the women prices 30% equal. And now a better number of figure is chasing this other side. What do you think is gonna cut and let's speak?
then the point
And revolution.
Let him make him spoils. Let your name.
the point I am driving to now is if at the end of the day that 70%, I am not saying that maybe they not even 1%.
My brother, the truth is,
The right approach is that in the society in the Nigeria of today, I can tell you categorically that why our leaders are doing whatever they choose to do. Like I will not fail to hit that part of River State, like what is happening in River State. Yes, I'm a party to whatever is happening in River State, but I will not still stop to hit it. And when I am hitting, I am sure it will also touch whoever I am loyal to.
okay. You say you're a party. That means you're part of the problem.
If that is it, if I am part of the problem and I can wake up to say this thing that's
I have a solution.
I have a solution.
Okay.
I'm a more better person than every other person who is comfortable with
What is happening?
you understand?
Uh,
If you talk about the youth's participation in the politics of Nigeria,
Yes.
I don't want to limit it to River State.
Yeah, no.
People want to centralize it and talk about the youth's participation in Nigeria. I can tell you that the youths are not participating in anything that has to do with the leadership of Nigeria. than with the politics of Nigeria.
Yes.
That is just the fact, and you cannot rule it out. You can't even. Okay, now let's
So what kind of politics are they playing? Is it the data politics, the online politics?
let us be able to structure out a point. Then we start looking at how to disseminate it, or you can also oppose me. But in the fact, what I'm trying to say now, because you have been, would I say, indirectly trying to bring in the youths of Nigeria playing data politics.
Of course, yes, is what they play.
But you've not been able to say it. That is. No, I'm not going to help you.
That is what people are doing now.
Yes, that's what they are doing even other than lying. You don't want to be disrespectful to the youths of Nigeria. Well, that's why you're, but I'm not helping you. Being the one being disrespectful.
Please, thank you for helping me. Because I think the politics the youth play in Nigeria is data politics. Data politics.
Beg to disagree. Because if you're saying that you're not being sincerely,
Which youth is having leadership position?
saying something to you.
Okay.
The role the youths are playing right now is to get it right. As we speak, they are not really interested in politics. What they want to do is to take a step A. And the step A is getting the right person to mount that office. And if you check out 2023 election, you'll find that because of a particular candidate being P2B, the youth got registered, which has never happened before. We had over additional 5 million youths that got registered and demanded for their PVC. And they participated. You and I know it happened in Rivers State. You went, at least I went to a polling units to vote. And so many of them were in the rain. They said they are not going anywhere. So they actually fought so hard because they want to get the leadership right first. Before now, they will now said, okay, if you check out the youths in the past that eventually got access and entered politics, you find that in no distant time, they start thinking and start acting like own men, especially those people we believed in, like Desmond Elliot and the rest. When they entered, before you say Jack, they start behaving like the old politicians. You know why? Well, because of the system. Now, once the head is wrapping, what happens to the body? Now, the head is what controls the body. You understand? If, for example, the legislators are this end, the executive is this end, the judiciary is this end. But without the head going, no path will follow. So what's the role the youth, I'm trying to combat, the role the youth are playing is trying to get the head correct.
Unfortunately, I am this kind of person that don't want to believe in saying, God forbid, God should do this for us, and spending all the time praying and kabashing for something that God has given me the wisdom on my own to handle.
And the power.
Yes, and the power to handle. So we should stop distracting God for something, because the things I then go to handle are those things that is beyond our power. Not the one He has given us the power to handle. You can imagine me keeping a knife here, and I know that my child may pick up that knife and put it on himself. Instead of me picking up this knife and keep it to a place where this child cannot lay hands on it, and I'll be saying, God forbid. God is protecting the child. When the God Himself has given me the wisdom to pick up this knife and keep it to a more smart place. Now, like what I just said, if 70% of the youths are using the wrong approach, like nobody deviated, 70% of us want to stop whatever we see to be wrong. And on trying to stop it, we are using a wrong approach. We won't still
Make
get
headway.
any headway or make any result. Now, let me help you when you talk about Mr. P2B. By political affiliation, I don't have any reason to vote P2B because I'm not a member of his party.
No.
I mean by political
Affiliation, yeah.
Now, I voted P2B. And in my own little will, I told people as well that we need a brain that is in the head to man the governance of Nigeria. So in my little way, I can say that I voted for. So, and in my unit, I voted for
Peter.
Obi.
Wow.
Because why I'm driving towards the aspect of P2B was just because of what you said, that the youths registered, the youths
Mm.
this, that. Now, you are still helping me in the point which I was trying to make, that, okay, with the youths registry, is it enough?
What effect is it?
When the result is being
Announced.
rated in collection centers, what were the youth doing?
But you saw what happened in River State.
No. What do you expect to do?
Because they will not know.
See, let me tell you. You see, what was he expecting you to do at that point?
Explain something. You remember, like 20-something years ago, Nigerians were the most happiest people in the world. You will come back to that. What happened is that you see this madness in Nigeria cannot happen in a country like Afghanistan. They can't go and die while protecting their votes. An average Nigeria will know.
So how do you want the change to pass?
You are still coming back to what I'm saying. Why do you want the change? What was that way? Slave is in love with the chain that is slave.
Now I think that Khan's 2023 election was an outage now. So now they are saying that Oga, she signed the electoral reform. You understand? Or whatever the matter is. And now they want to count the vote at the population.
My brother, let me help you on something. We are, one of the problems Nigeria is having is that the people who are the oppressed are the majority.
Yes.
Yes. The oppressed
The majority, yeah, you're right.
and the oppressed is not that is the majority that can even curb or even mob the oppressor. Are relaxed. Now, you want to talk about signing electoral reform and stuff like that.
That's the situation.
Very sorry, sir, because unfortunately you want to sound like you just came back to Nigeria last week after spending 20 years abroad. So,
Nigeria, anything is possible.
hello, sir, at this point, I think I may owe no apology to say that my relative who have been in America for over 30 years without visiting Nigeria is more informed than you, is he?
So these are not something a lot possible in Nigeria. So the youth, we can't be our votes.
Okay, let me explain something.
Yes, sir.
Now, Buhari wanted a free and fair election. Now he brought in some opinion leaders and say, I want a free and fair election. What do we do? They told him that a particular candidate has enough money to buy the entire country. So what you will do is see how you could sign some stuff that will limit a particular amount
of spending.
Yes, limits movement of money.
And they push us into cashless. I will begin to suffer.
Now, and I know that it's not possible in real Nigeria. You understand? Especially if the person happens to come from his own party.
I think at this point, I need to come in and let you know something. This is Nigeria. You sound like we are in a very sweet country where there is no rigging. Where if there is a broadcast, that's what everybody's going to do. You can't tell us here that if they sign the electoral law, whatever amendment, whatever they want to do, that on the election day we'll go and cast our votes and it will be counted seemingly, everybody will be happy.
Why I even brought this one is because you people are sounding like there are certain cases that cannot happen.
So tell me to stay there to secure my vote. He's deep. That's what we want.
I think we should stay put to the
impact of youth in politics. Impact of youth in politics.
As without trying to say you are completely out of the lane, let me still drive on that particular lane you are driving on now. You made statement about the youths, but you are talking about the electoral form, the president signing the electoral reform here, the votes will be counted in the units or the polling units where everybody will know stuff like that. Fine, that's nice. No, we are talking about the youth participation and the impacts. Now, you have a situation where in last election, we were told that Nigeria spent billions in building what is it called for the election, and they were able to deceive us that instantly it will keep record of the votes, and as you are voting, you are seeing it here.
That was the IRF.
Yes. Now, when it was brought to your units
Did it work?
and it didn't work that way as a youth, what did you do? That is what. As a youth. Because this is what they used the taxpayers' money. They told us they spent billions in building these things, the chips, you not compromise LMI software wherever you are. Because one thing you should know, first of all, is that before you are building any technology that has to do with network, internet network, you also consider the terrain here, in rural areas. You have in mind that what you are building in has a super capacity of capturing network wherever location or wherever it is found in Nigeria. That is what you were told. Nobody told you that at some point the network will fail. Nobody told you that. And they kept to your unit, at least they have limited this thing to where you have power. The ego says that you can beat him anywhere, but not in his house. They have limited it to your house. And this system failed in
Your own house. Well, can I come in at least?
hold us. Technical. Let it be true so that when they are correcting you, you can make out. Just had everything together. They brought this fight to your own house. This change you have to impact, they brought it to your house. You were there. The system failed. According to what they told us, that it couldn't, so they will upload it, the bad cyber and all the stories they told us. You were there. And if I ask you today, what is the cumulative votes from your unit? Do you have the result for P2B? You don't have it. That's a truth.
As the assumption.
Okay. Let's call it assumption. Okay. This is what you told us, and we are having something else in contrary to what you told us. That's one. Then, secondly, why I still go back to the youths of Nigeria being in love, being slaves that are in love with chain that enslaved us, is that those who compromised the system, those who work in ICTs and all these places, you can't find a 70-year-old man.
No, you can't. They're all youths.
Still the youths.
They're all youths.
Yes, because from whatever they have built, I think when it is brought in here, that's when our people, our youths who are in ICT, we are able to compromise the software or hardware. I'm not too good when it has to do with. Then, secondly, at the polling units, the electoral officers, the umpires, who manage the election, who show you this, you have to compromise. We are all field youths. And they aided in compromising the system.
Not the son. All right. At this point, let's have over enough of this discussion. We'll come back after this break. Do it, please. We'll go to the break and we'll come back. Okay, welcome back to the show. So we still have in the house Innocent Orata, a young politician, and the Mebindoka. Thank you for doing justice to the show. So finally, your parting words. What do you think? You have said a lot of things before we went on the break. You have to
One of the things he said is when they brought in the machines and they were not working, INEC said they want to employ the manual aspects, which the electoral law allows them to do. You can't tell them that if this machine does not work, go home. Let me explain something. In as much as you're trying to vote your candidates and you're trying to protect your vote, you're not supposed to go outside the law to do that.
Okay.
You understand? Now, if these guys, if the law permits them to employ the manual aspect of the legend talks, are you getting
Yes.
Again, if he says the people in the ICT centers are youth, forgetting that the mistake that is always happening in this country is giving the executive the power to choose the INEC chairman. And it's more like the military. The commander gives a command. Everybody does what the commander says. Are you getting it? If, for example, the executive chooses the INEC chairman and say, this is why I'm employing you.
To go and give me...
Yes.
Okay.
And now you, as an employee of INEC, you know the aim, you know the objective, you know the goal. Whether you're a youth, your 70 years or your 60 years, as long as you're in that system, you have agreed
To do what?
to do what you're employed. So the House of Rep now, I think it has passed second to the youth that, excuse me, please. But the House of Rep, I think it has passed second reading already. They are trying to strip the power from the executive to appoint the. Are you getting it? I cannot hire you. You understand, for a particular job, and you have a job description, and you come and do otherwise.
So the job description is what?
Their job description is to reach. That is why all the effort the youth.
So I'm investing time in these countries.
Nobody will tell me that the youth did not make any effort. I disagree with that.
So with what you said now,
System is already corrected. The system is limiting the youth.
okay, so it's system parts. And that's it. I'm happy that you both of you are politicians that I know. You are active politicians.
Not active.
Okay. But I'm happy that you have just educated us today that the employer will tell his employee what to do.
This is let me help you on this, sir. The essence of this is not even all about being active politicians or not being active politicians, because one of the questions here is the youth's acting pass in politics. Now, when you ask that particular question, you are simply talking about youth activeness in every sector of Nigeria. Yes, because the politics controls every sector in Nigeria. Now, I understand maybe we don't have much time to talk about this whole thing, but I think I have to also hit the point. When I say the youths are not even participating 5% in Nigerian politics, yes, I have my reasons.
Okay.
One of my reasons is that as it stands now, for instance, let me give instance with Rivers State. We are expecting another election. And unfortunately, we have a situation where the judiciary could even nullify election that the matter is not before them, which is the Supreme Court. Yes, we all. Am I scared to talk about this?
I understand your pain. You're part of that government.
It's not even issue of being part of the government. It's issue of
Say it the way.
they use it the way it is. Now, we are expecting another election, local government election, and some youths will be picked to run for the local government election. Now, by the time these youths are picked, some persons might say, oh, thank God, though, whoever is involved is involving youths in Nigerian politics. But I can still tell you that if you bring, out of the 23 local governments in Rivers State, if you bring 15 youths to man the LGAs out of the 23, I can still tell you that Rivers youths are not also participating in the election if they come in the wrong channel. Now, what do I mean? They are youths. They may be in their 20s, 18, 23, but they are not participating. When the elders who brought them did not allow them to actively portray that which is in them, which makes them the youths, to give them that free hand to rule the governments. We have a situation like, I don't want to give credit to Sir Sinala Fubara, but at the same time, it is something you can't say no to. Is his flower, he deserves it. Because as a governor, just check, for instance, Ichemati, the former local government chairman of Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
You were able to see, even that of Obiapo, you were able to see that the persons who are their godfather wherever, I don't know them, did not strangle them. They were allowed to rule.
They had liberty to do.
They had that liberty, and you witness it. But in a case here where you are bringing me as a youth and say, okay, innocent, come and become the local government chairman, even when I'm duly elected, because the same rights a councillor has is the same rights the president
And the government.
also having, except immunity, because they were both elected. Ordinarily, if it is in the same society, you cannot just wake up one morning and say you are no more a conservator because you are the president of Nigeria, topless of doing that and when it has to do with the government. You understand it? Now, the point I'm driving is when you bring these youths, when it is still elders, the old men that brings these youths, and at the same time, you are giving somebody a goat as gift. You have gifted me a goat, and you are still holding very strong to the coat that is on the neck of that goat. You make me a local government chairman, and you instructed me that just pay salary.
That's your job.
After salary, the next money, return it to me. Then I can decide what happens to it.
Is that how it used to happen?
No, I didn't tell you that's how it used to happen. Yes. Except you want to inform.
Okay, know that. Thank you for being very nice, telling us how these things happen, why they are not. Some of them don't do anything. Thank you. You just left government.
No, I'm not saying I didn't inform you.
No, I know. And something informing me. Your voice is well taken. Thank you so much. Thank you for being on the show, Innocent Oranta. You are a very lovely person. You've told us a lot of things that happen in government that we are not aware of. Thank you to Webi for being here today. We, hope to see you guys some other time. And leave our show for today.